I'm excited for today's session. It's the middle of our peak climbing season, but it's been raining for 5 days straight. As a treat to myself, I'm going to do my first session at a brand new area that I discovered this January. A little bit of background, this region has been under development for 30 years. The main developers, one of whom was a professional climber, Nick Sagar.
Hey, my name's Nick Sagar. I'm a former professional rock climber.
Lived in the area. He was an avid outdoorsman as well as a bow hunter. So he scoured the wilderness looking for spots to climb. Our other main developer, Ghislain Lozier, is an absolute legend. Zig would walk to Mordor and back to climb anything at all. Any climb, any grade, any quality. Zig would put in the work. In order to find something new of reasonable quality these days, you have to be willing to push harder than Nick and Zig. I'm using technology to my advantage. Drones can survey large amounts of area and cut down on the bushwhacking to boulders that don't have potential. Boats allow me to access coastal areas and cut down on hikes that would otherwise be unfeasible. The dirt bike does the same thing overland, allows you to push deep into wilderness areas that would be off limits if you had to do the hike. Exploring is a generally unsatisfying activity. Most days you find nothing at all. The day I found this particular boulder cluster, it was in January. It was very cold that day, extremely windy, snow was on the ground, austere conditions. Bushwhacking with snow on the ground is especially difficult. You can't see the obstructions, you're slipping and sliding, you're falling into holes, you're sliding on things that you can't see. Your feet are getting wet because you often don't see the water. I stumbled onto the boulder cluster in the dark, literally right on top of it before I saw it. Took a picture, a grainy photo on my cell phone, dropped a pin, and then got the heck out of there. Went back a few days later to check it out. Unsurprisingly, this boulder cluster is past all of the established climbing in Terrence Bay, so represents a new level of remoteness for climbing in this area. The approach to this area takes place down a road that used to connect two fishing villages. It was an overland route that connected Terrence Bay to Sambro. It used to be passable via a pickup truck. You could drive from one community to the other 30 years ago. However, it's deteriorated so significantly that even now with an all-terrain vehicle, it's almost impassable in sections. Previously, climbing in this area, I did the hike back and forth by foot. When I did the second ascent of Zig's magnum opus RTK, I hiked it back and forth on foot. Having the e-bike is a game changer in terms of how much energy you have left for the proj when you get there, and as well being able to bring gear, camera gear, that sort of thing. We've arrived at the new area. There are 4 projects here that I've identified as being plausible. The first is a majestic overhanging arete. It looks to be V12 plus, so that would be a season-long or multi-season project. The next line is the one I'm standing in front of right now, which is a well-featured roof climb with 5 or 6 moves on the roof section. That's extremely rare for granite. This is only one of 2 roof climbs of that many moves in mainland Nova Scotia. So this is an extremely rare find. This is the climb I'm hoping to do today. And then around back is a 14-foot tall boulder with 2 lines up either side of it. Looks like it's going to be hard and desperate. I would say those lines are going to be anywhere from V7 to V10. So we'll see. As usual, I'm going to start by warming up on the top out. I always do that, especially on new climbs. Granite climbing is tricky. You're very unlikely to be able to on-site any top out that's not just completely straightforward. This top out here looks like it's going to be at least V6, so the chance of on-siting that after you do the bottom is very low. When you get there, you're going to want to have a plan. So I want to have all those moves worked out, and that gives me my best chance of having enough energy today to put the whole climb together from start to finish. I think what's going to happen is you're going to get this, and you're going to get here. Heel's going to go here, and that is a huge, huge press out. Quite committing. I don't know. I don't think I have pads to do this solo today. Well, to revise my session goals. Wow. Yeah, no, that's... We're gonna put a rope on. She just hit my heart, oh. Full force and she got me like, I be like, baby, why you so fine? That's harder than I would like at the very end of what I know is gonna be a physically challenging opening sequence, so. Baby, like, oh, how'd you do the thing? The way that you do it, and she ain't even show nothing. She be walking around so confident, so heaven sent. I think she was meant to knock them daylight. Oh. Like, girl, you so fine. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't think this climb's gonna go today. It's gonna be on the harder end of my estimate. Baby, so fine. Miss Baby. Girl, you knock him dead. All right. That was an extremely cool exit to that cave. You know, sometimes the lip encounter at the end of an overhang can be sort of a disappointing experience. A lot of time it's just a formality, but that has a really, really cool sequence. Wow, what a cool line. Just like to try the actual cave part. Now this is an exciting experience. This is one of 2 caves of this size in Nova Scotia. It's gonna be a real treat pulling on here. It's gonna be all about connecting these opening couple moves into that top out and still having enough left to be confident. Don't get much cave climbing experience on granite, so don't laugh. Okay, wow. Wow, that's gonna be hard. Pretty good over here on the right, but this hole red is awful. So I wanna get off of this as soon as I can. Oh, okay, yeah, all right. Whew, that is not nothing. Okay, wow, yeah, no, this is, I'm revising my estimate here. This is gonna be 3 to 5 sessions. So it's legit. That puts it in the V10-11 range, I guess. We'll see. You never know until it's over, right? It always feels so difficult when you're working something brand new that's never been done by anyone. But then it'll come together, and you know, it just gets easier and easier, and then you'll do it, and you'll be like, oh, it wasn't that hard. You'll second guess yourself, and that's been my experience. Now, it would be easier if I could get a heel out. It's going to be too off balance. I think I'm going to stick with what I'm doing, but just a little higher and turn it in a bit more. No, you know what? That last go was the best. There'll be lots of options here for climbers of different size, but I like to stay long in my climbing. I don't like to be curled up. I like to be an extension. That's how I climb strongest. So I'm gonna favor just learning to deal with the lower feet, I think. Huh, yes. Got it. Okay, yeah, that's it. Just have to learn it. Cool. Whew. What's next? All right. This next move is what I'm excited about. People will hop on an airplane and spend thousands of dollars to fly to Waco to experience this kind of climbing. It is admittedly almost non-existent on granite. Super psyched that I get to try this here. So what's gonna happen now is that I'm gonna be transitioning from the arete to pure roof climbing. And it's impossible to cross. I think that's gonna be too physically demanding. So instead I have to get my right hand up into that seam. Now, the only way that's going to be possible, there's a few ways, but anytime you're trying to move one side of the body and you're very overhanging, you need to support that side. And there's a few options. So you can flag underneath You can heel hook, you can toe hook, or you can knee bar, and that's it. Those are my options here. So I don't think it's a flag. Knee bar maybe, but I think the problem with the knee bar is that it's going to hold me down too low and I'm not going to be able to reach it. So then that leaves me with a heel hook, but that would be a hand-heel match, not flexible enough. A high step is a high step or a heel hook. They're basically the same variation on the same movement pattern. And then the final option is the toe hook. And I'm super psyched because there's a big rail back here. So I think it's going to be like a bicycle, like a complex bicycle where I'm pushing down with the left, toe hooking with the right, and doing that move up into the high crack, the high Gaston. So like I said, this is the kind of move that people will take vacation and spend thousands of dollars to experience, because you don't get it in Nova Scotia. So you guys excited? I certainly am. Don't judge the first go. You know, I think it might take a couple of goes for this to come together. Oh, that's dope. Woo! She goes. Now, it's really tough. Like, I hit it and I'm there's so much body tension and I'm super extended. So, the fight is not over when you hit the when you actually grab the crack. It's going to be pretty difficult to unwind that. So, so the opening move is tough but doable. The second move is really difficult. That move is also really difficult, and I think unwinding that is going to be really difficult. So we're looking at 4 quite difficult moves in a row, followed by some easy roof flake nonsense, and then a pumpy committing top out. So this full value. This is going to be an awesome project. Oh, flag under. Oh, yeah, that's it. All right, so I'm going to start the at the high Gaston, and then I'm going to just do the roof moves. They look really easy. And then that'll be that. I'll have a full outline of the climb, and then after that, it's about refining the anywhere that feels difficult at that point. You'll put the work into refining those moves to get them down in difficulty, so that you have a chance of linking them all together for the send. So let's try that roof sequence. Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, that's more committing than I was hoping for. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's just I wasn't ready. That was kind of sloppy. I don't want to tear a finger. That end hold is sharp, so I didn't want to tear a fingertip. Yeah, it's actually a bit of a jump. That's powerful. So I didn't have a good. My feet were really low. I think I want a higher foot placement to. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Yeah. Okay, that was just bad data. So stem on the roof, foot here, then it's more reasonable. That is a very cool move, though. That's it. That's going to be a lot. That is going to be a lot. No chance that goes today. Next session, maybe. If I was guessing, 2 to 3, based on how it feels. So, awesome. I'm concerned about the other climbs out here. There's a 0% chance that I can finish this off today in one session. So my plan for the rest of the day is to grind out the pain points anywhere that it feels a little bit rough, a little bit too hard. The most fun part of the climbing process for me is this creative process right now. So I'm going to give up any ideas of getting this one done and just kind of settle in and enjoy.
She'll just have them running out and in. Man, they want to sin, talking deadly sin with Mrs. Daily. I don't understand why she hit them like. Girl, you knock him dead. How you doing? Thank you doing. Baby, you knock him dead. I already said.
So this is something that I routinely do if I'm struggling on a move. Find it really helpful if you can watch video of yourself. Oftentimes when you watch other climbers, you're more aware of their body positions than you are of your own. So video review is super helpful. So I've been able to bring it up on the camera and see exactly which feet that I used when I was initially successful. It's funny how sometimes you can intuitively do a move, and this has happened to me many times, and then you go back and you're like, okay, I got that, that's not too bad, and you go back to do it again later and it just seems impossible. It's the foot that I thought it was and I've been trying to use, but I can't do it now. So what that confirms is not that I'm not doing the right body position, it's fatigue. I can't hold the lock off on the left arm anymore, and so I am unable to stabilize myself and move this hand up into position. So I'm able to do it from a different foot, but then I don't have the reach, so that isn't the beta. Sometimes when you work a line tired, you find super refined beta because you're forced to climb more efficiently. But other times, if the best beta requires a high degree of physical strength, and that's not accessible to you when you're tired, you can find yourself down roads that lead you astray from the correct solution. So in this case, I think that's what's happening. I'm deteriorating, I'm getting tired. This move is the hardest physical move on the climb, and at this point in the sesh, I don't have it anymore. So it's good to confirm that, so I don't entrain bad habits by working the wrong foot. I'm not climbing productively anymore. I've accomplished everything I'm going to today. It's a pretty amazing line. I'm super excited for this. And there's a lot of potential in this area. So this is just the first of many sessions here. The dogs are revolting. They are demanding to go home. They want to cuddle up under some blankets and go to sleep. So do I. So that's a wrap.